What is up, fellow benchwarmers? Welcome to Courtside DFS. Once again, this is your daily dose of DFS. And of course, this is a collaboration with Hall of Fame DFS. You're one of the top DFS organizing groups in the country. If you want to join DFS here in the Philippines, you can just join their group and enjoy the games and the tournaments that they have. Of course, my name is JJT with our Komish. Komish,
hi guys.
Kamusta?
Okay naman.
Hindi tayo naka-match up yesterday.
Oo.
Pero nakapag-set kami ng lineups, but hindi lang naging in one contest na magkasama kami. Kasi nagkaroon kami ng problem dun sa rematch thing. Yung mga settings ng Yahoo. Anyway, pero may set lineups kami. Medyo challenge lang to show both lineups. Pero we'll show the winning lineup na lang, which is my winning lineup.
2-0
ganyan tayo. Sinuswerte tayo . So, pag-aralan natin tong lineup natin para makita natin where we got, saan ako naka-chamba dito. Okay. So, swerte ako. I used Tyrese Haliburton and Andrew Wiggins. Yun yung parang I think big and Kleber. Yung one of our recommendations kahapon, Kleber. We didn't notice si Tyrese and Wiggins. Actually, hindi natin napansin nung episode yesterday. Pero I think they were good value players. Yung Steph Curry, medyo pinilit ko na lang to kasi I was eyeing James Harden and then late scratch. So, pinalitan ko kaagad just in case dahil nabutan ko.
Actually, sabihin natin for them, Steph is going to be, if you had Steph, kahit 43 points si Steph, more or less you would not be winning. Usually, no? Pero ito pag si Jeremy kasi one-on-one lang kami. Pero pagka nasa tournament si Jeremy or sumali sa actual contest, hindi yan mananalo because Steph had, 40-something ang salary ni Steph . So, hindi siya nakapag-gain ng value, kumbaga. So, ang pinaka-value natin from yesterday sa nakita ko was Jimmy Butler. No, Jimmy Butler,
yes.
28 fantasy points si Jimmy Butler. Pero, 40-something ang salary ni Jimmy Butler. So, even if mataas ang salary niya, siya pa rin yung value natin. Kasi ang importante dyan is makita natin kung
Jimmy Butler had 78 points.
Yes. Ang importante dyan is makita mo plus ilan from the salary ang nakuha ng player.
Yeah.
Para yun, not necessarily na kailangan $10, $15. Kahit yung mga $40, they can gain value. As you can see, Siakam and Tatum are also top players yesterday.
Pero lang rin, syempre, of course, obviously, you know na the Jimmy Butler Toronto-Miami game went into 3 overtimes. Kaya medyo inflated na lahat ng mga stats ng mga players from there. Diba? Yes. In fact, we initially felt that this was not the game to target because baka slow pace. Pero of course, we didn't know naman it would get into triple overtime, diba? So, syempre, inflated lahat. Most of the guys on top were part of this game. Of course, one of our recommendations yesterday, Jason Tatum, one of our star recommendations. Thankfully, nagpakita. And Luka yung isang pinili ni.
Yes, ako yung pumili kay Luka. So, hindi siya as good. Plus $11. So, not as value, kumbaga. Yeah. Another recommendation namin sa lower end naman tayo, we recommended Maxi Kleber, as Jeremy said. And then, medyo nakachamba tayo kay Jose Alvarado, which $11 si Jose Alvarado.
4 steals yata to .
Yes, yes, naka 4 steals. Naka 38 siya today. So yun, tayo kay Jose Alvarado.
Medyo
so yun ang mga kailangan i-nail nyo. Yeah, yung mga $10, $11 nyo.
Yes. Pero so yun, those are our sulit players for today. Pero who are our flop players, yung mga manloloko players natin? Probably the biggest is Hernan Gomez. Ewan ko kung roster. If you see, naka-19 lang si Hernan Gomez. He had a good starter pa rin siya because Valanciunas was out but still did not perform. Minsan I always wonder if players have good games. Like Herbert Jones had a good game yesterday. Minsan napapaisip ako if i-roster ko pa due to the law of averages na parang what are the chances that these types of players get good back-to-back games.
Hindi, tama yun. Plus matchups, as we said, actually Boston is one of the toughest matchups. Defensively, pace-wise, medyo mahirap yung matchup ng Boston. So, usually, ang mga star players, medyo matchup, matchup proof yan eh.
Yeah.
Pero yung mga lower end, yung mga mid-range, like si Herbert Jones, sinabi ni Jeremy, si Willie Hernan Gomez, medyo may effect ang matchups sa kanila. So, yan yung dalawa. Willie, Herbert, medyo disappointing. Boucher, for me, considering 3 overtime game, he only got 12 minutes. So, medyo, although hindi naman siguro high-owned si Boucher compared sa Willie Hernan Gomez. So, yan. Of course, Kristaps got injured. So, syempre, rin siya, manloloko rin siya for today. Yan.
Okay, let's go through tomorrow's slate. Alam ko, today's slate, tapos na yan. We can't do anything about it. We just reviewed it. Ang importante...
Parang lesson learned lang yun. For lessons lang. Para malaman natin yung mga lessons na nakuha natin.
Ang importante, tomorrow's slate. Kasi dito yung paghahandaan natin. So, tomorrow's slate, 4 games on the slate. Hindi kasama dito yung mga early morning game slates Manila time. So, para hindi nyo kailangang gumising ng maaga. Baka magtaka yung mga misis nyo anong ginagawa nyo ng madaling araw. Trying to wait for... fantasy to start, diba? So, 4 games, Denver, Milwaukee, Dallas, Orlando, Utah, Minnesota, and Phoenix, San Antonio. Ano ba yung best?
Ko lang remind ko sila, usually pag sa Hall of Fame din naman, we use the main slate of Yahoo. Hindi siya pang mga maagang games. Yun din ang request ng mga players. So, it will help you. Ngayon, itong 4 games, very small number of games. So, medyo mas mahirap umiwas. Kasi we usually talk about the best matchups, the worst games in terms of matchups. Wala kaming nakikita talagang best and worst here. Maraming good defensive teams here, maraming injuries. So siguro for me, kung best matchups ang tatanungin, maybe the San Antonio Phoenix one because maraming ang mag-rest yan. We will talk about it later. So yan ang best siguro. Worst, wala akong masasabing iiwasan here. All of them are medyo may mga makukuha tayong players.
Yeah, kasi not completely. Siguro many would think that the Utah, Minnesota is the worst, pero again, walang Gobert, not complete Utah team, so we don't really know how they would perform. And Minnesota is pretty much complete lineup sila halos, so except for D'Lo. Injured players. Speaking of injured players, pag-usapan natin some of the players that would be out. DeJounte Murray, as you can see.
Teka, unahin muna natin ang maganda tama, DeJounte, tama yan, DeJounte. We talk about ang maganda sa slate na to, medyo maraming out, pero alam na natin agad. So, hindi tulad ng previous na marami tayong question marks. So, ngayon, San Antonio is resting their players. Nakita niyo naman, Murray, Potel, and White, they're all sure to be out.
Yeah. Of course, Gobert and Donovan Mitchell out. Kristaps, they considered out na rin as early as now.
Kristaps is out. Donovan is questionable. So, Donovan is questionable. Donovan can actually play already tomorrow. May chance yan. Last game, may chance rin niya maglaro. So, you have, itong medyo critical. You have to watch out for this tomorrow morning. Pero yung tatlong San Antonio Spurs, Gobert, tsaka si Kristaps, they're definitely out. And then, ang medyo questionable here will be D'Lo and Ayton. Both are questionable. I doubt D'Lo will play, pero of course, wag nyo akong i-quote, no? Baka kasi biglang maglaro yan. So, kailangan yung... Ito rin, questionable din si Ayton. Although hindi pa siya nagpa-practice So, medyo doubtful akong maglalaro yan. Yung mga major injuries natin.
Actually, if questionable, medyo mahirap rin to pick them as yung players nyo. Kasi pag nagising kayo late and then biglang out pala, ganyan. So, medyo problem.
Isa pa lang suggestion ko, no? If you want, gawa kayong ng different combinations with the player playing or with the player without. Sabi ni Jeremy, questionable, medyo mahirap yan Hindi mo kukunin yung player. Pero yung replacement or yung other players, baka kinuha nyo dahil kala nyo hindi maglalaro si Donovan, si Gobert, or whoever. So, pag biglang maglalaro, magbabago kayo, mahirap kasi we have to make sure na $200 So, yung combination may iba So, para hindi kayo mahirapan pag gumising kayo ng 7 or 7:15 tapos 10 minutes to go na lang. Magsulat na kayo ng combination nyo, na different combinations with this player playing and without this player playing. So, mas mabilis i-change. Just copying na lang. So that's a suggestion na mabibigay na.
Mahirap mag-change. Kasi most likely overhaul, especially if a major player ang biglang out or biglang maglalaro.
Minsan nakakainis dyan yung $1 over ka lang or $2 over.
Tapos yung mga certain favorite picks mo, di ba? Yung pa yung mga tatanggal mo eh. Diba? Tapos pagsisisihan mo pa yun kasi after the match, biglang gumawa yung tinanggal mong player. Nakakainis din yun, di ba?
So be prepared lang. Be prepared.
Okay, let's move on to stars for tomorrow. Who are your good value stars for tomorrow?
Ito lang. I don't know if ganito rin kayo. Pag small slate, ako usually I play multiple big stars as much as possible. Yun ang ginagawa ko kasi feeling ko lang I can play them and then go with some $10, $11 yun ang strategy ko usually pag medyo small slate eh. Pag small slate, mahirap ng mag $30 players kayo. Usually, you have to have a star talaga. And I'm looking at Luka again versus Orlando. Yun yung akin. Kasi feeling ko lang, without Kristaps, of course, Orlando is a very fast-paced and poor defensive team. It might be a blowout. That's my only concern like today. Pero feeling ko he will still get his numbers. Ikaw, Jeremy.
Ako, I am looking at two players, no, I like, Devin Booker is one. Devin Booker being sobrang ganda ng nilalaro ni Devin Booker lately. Ang worry ko lang dito is against San Antonio, a depleted San Antonio. So baka medyo tambakan rin to. So yun lang yung pinaka-worry ko. Pero another player I like is Anthony Edwards. Kahit na against Utah, I've been eyeing him. The last game, I think he did well the last game. So, yun, two players ang gusto ko for this slate and most likely will put them in my rosters for tomorrow.
Yes, tama.
So,
yung Anthony Edwards, dependent din malaking doon is si D'Angelo at saka si Pat Bev. We didn't mention Pat Bev pero questionable din si Pat Bev. So yun, pag hindi maglaro yun, Anthony Edwards actually is a good value at $37.
Yeah. Moving on to the lower end players, no. Some of course replacement for injured players. Nabanggit na natin si Kleber, should be a good one. Should be a good player to roster kasi $11 lang yata si Kleber. Hinahanap ko si Kleber.
Yeah, ito. Si Maxi Kleber is also $11. Again, kumpara sa kahapon. And Orlando is a big team. So I think they would be matching up with them then with a big lineup sa palagay ko. So unless ma-foul trouble siya, he can get you at... My belief is he can get you at least 30 tomorrow. At least 30. Tapos yung isa, para mahanap ni Jeremy, sa $15 range tayo with Devin Vassell. Of course, San Antonio, maraming mawawala. Who would start for them? I predict it would be Keldon Johnson, who's $19 by the way. And then McDermott, and then probably Drew Eubanks, Trey Jones, and then Devin Vassell. For me, among all those players, si Vassell siguro ang pinaka may upside without those star players.
Ang key rin kasi Vassell has the defensive stocks eh.
Yes.
Same with Kleber. Kaya medyo masarap silang i-roster eh. Kasi defensive stocks nila medyo maganda. Unlike si Keldon at 19, seems okay kasi siya yung top player pero wala masyadong defensive stocks kaya parang ayaw mong i-roster. Si Trey Jones nabanggit ni Komish, baka $10 Trey Jones.
$10 si Trey Jones, one of the 10. Kaya nga sabi ko, si Trey Jones, $10 lang siya. So sabi ko nga kay Jeremy, medyo maganda yung mga lower end players. This is a very big gamble kasi hindi naman natin alam kung siya mag-start. Of course, may Lonnie Walker, may Primo. Pero I think he'll be the point guard that they will be going to. So I think Jones, I think Vassell and Kleber are solid. And then another player, Royce O'Neal. $11 si Royce O'Neal sa Utah game. I think is also a good value with Gobert out. With Gobert out.
So yan, tignan mo mga so far past two games, 23 and 27.5. Of course, may risk pa rin with Royce O'Neal. Since hindi siya very consistent with the scoring and all, but could be someone. Ang okay rin with the smaller slate, sometimes you don't really need to roster $10, $11 players kasi kalat di ba? Like you said, pwedeng medyo maraming stars na lang, mid heavy yung roster mo. All right. Last natin, short yung top 3 favorite players natin for tomorrow. Ako, I mentioned Kleber, Edwards, and Vassell. And of course, si Comish. Same rin, most likely. Kleber.
Same. Pero I would
Luka.
probably play Luka and maybe Jokic. Maybe Jokic together tomorrow. I'll try to do that. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yun.
All right. So, that's it for your daily dose of DFS here at Courtside DFS. And good luck in tomorrow's slate. And, hopefully nag-enjoy kayo. Hopefully this helped as well. Of course, this is in collaboration with Hall of Fame DFS. So if you want to join your DFS, to play DFS, just join the group Hall of Fame DFS and you can enjoy lots of tournaments there and win lots of prizes as well. All right, that's it from us, Fantasy Benchwarmers, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.